Good morning, Jaguars. My name is Aissatou Sarr.
And my name is Genevieve Bielli.
And welcome to WJAG-TV. Thank you everyone for tuning in to WJAG-TV.
We are so excited to be back to showcase everything Cedar Shoals.
For our first story, our very own Aliyah Adams spotlight student Melina De La Vega, a local equestrian.
Most students' hobbies include something like drawing or dancing, but Melina De La Vega spends her downtime riding horses.
How I first got into horseback riding was my mom put me on a horse when I was about maybe 1.5, and I instantly fell in love. It's something in my blood. I've always had a connection with horses. Every time we passed by a field, it was magical for me.
Melina isn't the only person in her family who rides. Her family's been linked with horses for generations.
My parents can ride, they just prefer not to. My dad's mom grew up on a ranch when they were back in Mexico. They did own horses, but they did have to get rid of them all, sadly. And my dad can ride, he just doesn't like to. He prefers cars instead.
Although fun, riding can be very costly. Between paying for lessons and equipment, if you're interested in horseback riding, you're gonna have to pay a pretty penny.
Every lesson's like $45 normally for a group. For private lessons, it's about $60. Shoes are about maybe $300 to $400. Saddles can range from $600 to maybe $1,000, depending on brand or not.
Horses are living, breathing animals, so it's important that you take the proper safety precautions to avoid injury.
Always, always, always wear your helmet. If you don't run a helmet, all I can say is there might be an accident and you could seriously break your neck.
And in order to minimize the risk, there's a number of things you have to do before you even get on the horse.
The first thing we normally do is we'll bring them back to the barn, and then we'll normally groom, and we groom for about maybe 20 minutes. Get them nice and clean. And then we start to tack up. We put our saddle pads, and then we put a smaller one on top of that. We call it the half pad, and then we put our saddle. Then we have this one thing, it's kind of like a belt. It goes right underneath their shoulders, and yeah, we call that the girth. And we tighten that as tight as we can get it, put their bridle on, and then we'll pretty much get on and ride.
But even after taking all the correct precautions, there's still no 100% chance that you're safe from injury. But that's just a risk you're gonna have to be willing to take in order to be a rider.
I've twisted my ankle several times. I have a scar on my left knee from when I hit barbed wire on accident riding, but I'm pretty pain tolerant, so it wasn't that bad. And then I've fallen off, I don't know how many times at this point, because I either wasn't doing something right or my horse stopped, because they are a live animal and you're dealing with an animal a lot bigger than you.
But even with the risks, Melina wouldn't have it any other way, because even after falling off and getting hurt, Melina is always ready to get back up and get back on.
Confidence. Confidence is what I do. Just say, okay, one little miss up, it's fine, get back on and fix it.
Riding horses can improve your physical health, reduce stress and anxiety, as well as lower blood pressure. If any of that sounds appealing to you, then maybe riding is the thing for you. I'm Aliyah Adams, and you're watching WJAG-TV.
It was so much fun getting to know what being an equestrian is really like and getting a good look at the Windy Hill Ranch.
Now it's time for sports news. Broadcast reporter Isaiah Moore shows us what the tennis team has been up to and what they hope to accomplish this season.
The 2023 Cedar Shoals tennis team is starting their season soon, and with Coach Chandler gone, students are going to have to learn from their new coach, Coach Johnson.
I just really like tennis. It's I don't know, the sport, it really requires a lot of dedication on your own to get better, and I really like that about it.
I joined last year because I was in Miss Chandler's class and she was the coach last year, and she's just a teacher that I really enjoyed.
Coach Johnson has made a good impression on the tennis team, as students are learning some new techniques from her.
I mean, she could be a little more verbal during practice, but she makes us run at the end, which is always good.
Yeah, I think she's good. It's definitely a lot different from when Miss Chandler was coaching, but I like both of their styles. We're definitely doing a lot more drills this season. Footwork is very important, as Sam would like to constantly remind us.
I mean, when you're hitting, you really have to use just proper form, good footwork to get good power, accuracy, etc.
The season has been great for the tennis players so far. Confidence levels are high and they're ready for their next meet around the corner.
I mean, a lot of us have gotten a lot better. I personally have gotten better just from practice on my own.
We're doing a lot more drills this season. I noticed my serve's getting better, my ground strokes are better, and my footwork. It's just improvements all around. I really miss Miss Chandler. She was my favorite teacher, and I really liked her as a coach as well. And I mean, this season's also going very well. I like Coach Lewis and Coach Williams, but yeah, I miss Miss Chandler too. Hopefully, more people will start to recognize tennis at Cedar. I have high hopes for this season. Hopefully we win more matches and tennis gets more notice.
Be sure to consider joining the team as it's not too late to start. This has been Isaiah Moore with Cedar Blueprints Broadcasting.
We're so excited to see the tennis team thrive this season.
And you can support them in their next home game at March 21st at 4 p.m.
For our next video, Sabriyu Adams highlights the 5K marathon held for former Cedar Shoals faculty, Mr. Joshua Sampson.
On February 4th, teachers, community members, and ex and current students alike joined together at 8 a.m. to participate in a memorial 5K in honor of the late Cedar Shoals staff member, Joshua Sampson.
Feel good. Honestly, I haven't really ran a whole lot since high school, but I have here and there, and I just kind of wanted to see where I'm at coming back here to run again.
So I've run a few 5Ks in the past, and today I'm just planning to hopefully beat my time of like 24 minutes-ish. So just trying to build up the pace in this cold weather.
I'm here to support everybody. A bunch of people I know are walking and running, but I'm just here to sort of cheer them on and support them.
I think I have an idea of a pace that I should go at. I just don't think my legs or body may be in the same shape it was when I was in high school, but we'll see. I'm kind of using this as a milestone to see where I need to go from here.
So I've just been walking a little bit, running, trying to get my pace up, but yeah.
If the event's goal was to further bring the community together, it was successful. With over 200 people signed up, it was a very active day, which is exactly what Mr. Sampson would have wanted.
It's, we always joked, whenever we go on those runs, there was a certain hill over off River Road, and we'd always run up that hill, and I told Josh, I said, if something ever happens to one of us, we decided to put on a 5K, you got to run this hill. He was a runner. It's a good way to remember people. A 5K is easy. You can walk a 5K. It's not anything that you have to train up for.
As soon as they mentioned it, I knew that was really the perfect way to honor Josh's memory. I knew as soon as they told me, I was like, whatever shape you're in, you're going to run that thing. So I just basically was like a middleman for them, trying to make sure that communication happened, that the race organizers had everything that they needed from administration and stuff like that. And, Dr. Tolbert really came through as the big contact person and, made sure that we had everything.
Dustin Schinholzer from Fleet Feet, he's the owner of Fleet Feet, and Cleveland Miller, who is my husband's best friend and running buddy. They did all the planning, and I didn't have to worry about anything other than just sort of thumbs-upping a few things.
We were thinking 75, if we hit 100, great. We're over 200, and 200 people to come out and remember Josh is, more than we could ever think of.
There were 200 people signed up Monday morning, right? And then I know more people signed up, and then there's people that are going to the registration table. So, yeah, it's amazing.
Many feelings were felt during the event. It was a day for the community to come together to support one another and remember a staff member so dear to Cedar Shoals.
It's quite a mix of emotions. Josh is one of my best friends, and I was kind of dreading it, and I told my wife, it's just like, I just don't want to cry so much, and it's really, I don't know, man, just to honor my friend like this, to have this many people come and this many people show up for him, it's just been so special.
I feel really grateful. I feel just excited that so many people wanted to come out and support Cedar and support Project Safe, because I don't know, it's been advertised, but whatever money is raised, half of it goes to the Cedar General Fund and half of it goes to Project Safe. So I'm just grateful that everybody's coming out to celebrate a wonderful man and grateful for the causes that it will support.
We actually are running this at a zero profit, zero loss event. If there is any overages, we are donating that between Cedar's General Fund and Project Safe. So Cedar, because it was so close to his heart, and then Project Safe, which is a shelter that helps abused people. And Josh was a very big proponent for that. You know, if we can get people to start running, right, because of this event is great. But again, the biggest takeaway and the biggest thing that I want is that just people to remember Josh.
Big thank you to Cleveland Miller and Dustin Shinholzer for hosting the event. I'm Sabriyu Adams, and you're watching WJAG-TV.
I love how the community came together to support the Sampson family and honor Mr. Sampson's legacy.
That's all for this episode.
Make sure to tune into our next one and follow our Instagram at Cedar Blueprints. This has been Aissatou, Sarr
And Genevieve Bielli, and you're watching WJAG-TV.